guys, welcome to our blending lesson today. So today we are working in Unit 1, Week 5. Today is October 7th. It is Crazy Hair Day. I hope you guys are wearing your craziest hair at home. Alright, so before we get started, we will do our high frequency word practice. So remember, if you know the word, say the word. If not, then just repeat after me. Really help yourself practice. We're going to start from the bottom today. Move, to, like the number, jump, run, to, fun, make, they, be, come, pull, good, out, down, very, up, what, not, school, and does. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get to our first word. Trap. Your turn. Tur. Ah. Pa. Trap. So remember, this week we are working with those R blends and those S blends. So that means we're going to take two letters. One of them will be an R. One of them will be an S. You blend them with another consonant to make one sound. So in the word trap, we're using that R. So at the beginning, I hear tur. That's my shoulder sound. So T is going to say ta, and R is going to say ta, You put them together to make tur. And then our elbow sound, that short A, trap. And our wrist sound is going to be pa, trap. So in this whole board, our shoulder sound is going to be in red, our elbow sound is going to be in orange, and our wrist sound is going to be in black, just in case you need that extra help. Next word, drip. Your turn. Dur, pa, drip. So I hear dur. That's a duh. Dur. And then my elbow sound, dur, And then my wrist sound, he says pa, dur, drip. All right, next word, stop. Your turn. Sta, pa, stop. So in the word stop, I hear S at the beginning. Stop. Yep, I hear T because S will say S and T will say ta, sta. And then here is our elbow sound, and our wrist sound, pa, sta, pa, stop. Excellent. Next word, cross. Your turn. Cross. So I hear cur. So I think that's a C and then an R. Because C says ka and R says we can put them together to make cur. And then here is our elbow sound, that like the octopus card. And then we're going to double up on that sound at the end. Cross. So yeah, even though 5 letters in the word cross, we can break it up into only 3 sounds because we can make CR say cur, we can make O say ah, and we can make those 2 S's say s, cross. So that stretchy snake is a really good strategy when you see a word you're not sure of in a book. All right, next word, skip. Your turn. Ska, pa, skip. So when I say skip, I know I hear S at the beginning, and I also hear a K. Ska, we can blend those 2 sounds together, ska. And here comes our elbow sound. I says ska, ske. And then our wrist sound, that P, which says pa, ska, pa, And next word, snack. Your turn. Snack. Snack. Like you're going to eat your snack at recess time and not in class. So when I say the word snack, I hear sn, because S will say s and N will say n. You can blend those two sounds together. Sn. And then our wrist sound, ah. Sna. And then our wrist sound, those two letters, the C and the K, they work together like buddies to say ka. Snack. Next word, Brad. Your turn. Brad. So this is a name. Brad is a name. So what do I have to do to that beginning letter? I have to capitalize it. Thank you so much. So it's still burr, because B says ba, and R says we can put those two together, burr. And then here is our elbow sound. A says burr, bra. And D says brad. All right, so we're going to try saying that something belongs to Brad. So we have to do something to this word to say it belongs to Brad. So think about how you might say that bike over there belongs to Brad. What might you say? You might say, oh, that's Brad's bike. So I hear S at the end, Brad's. So yeah, we are going to have an S. But before that S has to come an apostrophe. An apostrophe. Now we've talked about how an apostrophe is kind of like a comma in the air, that we put in the air. Normally a comma is down at the bottom next to two letters, but an apostrophe is kind of like if we put a comma and we just put it in the air. But it's still a word that we can sound out, that we can blend. Brads. All right, next word. Frog. Your turn. Frog. So at the beginning of frog, I hear FR. Fur. And then my elbow sound, that fur. We're getting a little close to the edge here. And G says ga. Frog. All right, excellent. Next word. Tim. Your turn. Tim. So at the beginning of that word, Tim, I hear ta. I don't hear a blend there, but I do hear ta. And Tim is a name. So we have to make sure that T, that ta, is a capital letter. And here is our elbow sound, that I, which says ta, ti. And our wrist sound, that M, ta, Tim. So if I wanted to say that bike over there belonged to Tim, what would I need? I would need an S. You're absolutely right. But I need something else besides that S. So last week we were talking about how adding an S means more than one. So if we just had Tim's without a apostrophe, it would just mean there's a whole lot of Tims. We're in a room filled with Tims. There's a lot of Tims. There's more than one Tim. But if we want to say that something belongs to Tim, like Tim's bike, we need an apostrophe. We need one of those commas in the air. But we can still blend it. Tims. Next word. Man. Your turn. Man. So my shoulder sound, that M, which says my elbow sound, that A, which says ma. And then our wrist sound, that N that says man. this is one man. If I wanted to say this is the man's hat, what do you hear there? You hear an S. We are going to have an S. But we also need to have something else, because now this just says man's. And if you were to look over in the room, man's, like there's many mans, number one, that doesn't even make sense. Because if we had more than one man, it would be the word men. Okay? And number two, if we're going to say that this hat belongs to this man, this is this man's hat, we need to have an apostrophe. And so we can still blend this word. The NS, though, is just kind of like mms. So you can blend it as though that apostrophe is not even there. Ands, mans. Next word, Sam. Your turn. Sam. Sam, I hear S at the beginning there. And since Sam is a name, we need to capitalize that S. And our elbow sound, our elbow sound, that A, which says ah. And our wrist sound that says M, Sam. So if I want to say that this bike belongs to Sam, this is Sam's bike, I need what? Go ahead and shout it out. I need an apostrophe. I think I saw some lips moving. I need an apostrophe. And then I also need an S. To say Sam's. Sam's. All right, let's do a sentence. And we're going to actually use a couple of words from here. So, BR says what? Burr, because B says buh, and R says buh, we can put them together to make burr. And our elbow sound, that A that says burr, burr. And D that says burr, Brad. So we know that this B is capitalized because it's the beginning of a sentence. And the first letter of a sentence is always, always, always capitalized. That will never, ever change. But the word Brad is a name. So that's another reason that this B should be capitalized. Even if we had the word Brad in the middle of a sentence, that B would still be capitalized. Okay. And now I have what word? Brad's. Brad's. So remember that apostrophe means that something belongs to Brad. I wonder what is going to belong to Brad. FR says fur. O says fur, fur. And G says frog, frog. So what belongs to Brad? His frog does. I'm pretty sure I saw some lips moving there. I appreciate it if you're participating. Okay. And SW says what? Swa, because S says S and W says wa, swa. And I says swa, swi. And MS is still gonna say mms, swa, mms, swims. Then here comes a high frequency word that we all should just know. What's the word? And. H says ha. O says ha, ha. He and S is going to say ps, ha, hops, hops. Okay, so let's read our sentence. Brad's frog swims and hops. Your turn. Excellent. So our sentence is missing something. What's our sentence missing? Our sentence is missing punctuation. And punctuation is something that always comes at the end of a sentence. So in this sentence, Brad's frog swims and hops. Do we think that he's asking something? No, it's not asking something because it doesn't have an answer. So it's not a question mark. It can't be a question mark. So Brad's frog swims and hops. I don't think that'll be an exclamation point either because we're not necessarily saying it with a whole bunch of oomph. We're just kind of letting you know, hey, Brad's frog, he swims and he hops. Isn't that pretty cool? So that means it's a statement. It needs to have a period at the end. All right, thank you for your focus and participation. So I'm going to have somebody read our great blending board. Thank you so much.